If there's one memory I have of Suicideboys, it is definitely Ruby leveled up. I don't know what it is about that track, man. And, you know, no pun intended, because the song is called Memoirs of a Gorilla. That track right there, man, when I first listened to that mixtape, what was it, like last year on SoundCloud, I was like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like, this, who are these Suicideboys? I didn't even know who they were. A lot of y'all told me they were underground. They made a pact that if they didn't make with this music shit, then they were really gonna kill themselves, which I think is kind of, that's going hard. Like, that is definitely going hard. You know, your life is nothing to play with, but, you know, they believed in themselves that much that they put their lives on it, and look what they're at now. You know what I'm saying? They have a crazy fan base. They're doing their thing. They may not be mainstream, but, you know, Suicideboys is still here. I know I haven't really been doing, you know, Suicideboys. A lot of the fans been asking me, you know, the fans of them been asking me to do it, and we finally got a project from them. I said I was gonna do it. I'm gonna keep to my word. Usually, like, I've been shying away from the underground artists, but, you know, let me come back. I mean, we got I Want to Die in New Orleans, a new album from them. 14 tracks. I know how I feel. 14 tracks, it's not bad. 14 tracks. Okay. Oh, my bad, Dev. Please ain't. Forgot to do that. Y'all know how to. But we gonna get right into this, man. I don't really want to do too much talking. We're gonna get right to the video. I'm expecting a lot of hype. Remember when I called Ruby the Juicy J nigga? No disrespect to Ruby, he just sounded like Juicy J. I am more of a fan of Ruby than Scrimm, but lately I've been listening to the words that Scrimm has been rapping, and you're right. Y'all right. Scrimm do be speaking that real shit sometimes. Sometimes his flow doesn't really, you know, resonate with me. I just like the way Ruby flows. I feel like Ruby is the better rapper. Not to say that, you know, both of them can't rap. I'm just saying I prefer Ruby. Goddamn camera had broke. Had to wait 2 days to listen to this shit from when I made the intro. God damn. But hey, let's get right into this, man. First track, track 1, King Tulip. Or Tulip, however y'all want to say it.
How do they change music?
But look at your bankroll, so just spend it on more dough, more woes. Fuck you, can't find lightning. I feel guilty, I feel so badly. Face empty, hotel lobby. 4 a.m. praying, can I get some rest?
First time listening to Suicideboys, man, it was crazy because I thought that Ruby J sounded a lot like Juicy J. Did I just call him Ruby J? I felt like Ruby reminded me a lot of Juicy J, just his rap style, the way he flowed. You know, Ruby was I always favor Ruby over Scrimm. But like lately in the last year, listening to more Suicideboys, man, that man Scrimm definitely does his thing. Now, his flow is a little darker than Ruby's. Ruby is definitely a little bit more uplifting, if you want to even call that, because they're both dark in their own way. But, you know, Scrimm makes that dark, very personal music, I would say, on his side of the verse, because you could just Scrimm and he just sounds like he's gonna kill you. Listen to Scrimm, bro, and it sounds like you about to go to hell, like legit. It sounds like you about to go to hell. But Scrimm definitely has his bars. I definitely slept on him from previous listens to Suicideboys, but you know, he's growing on me. It still baffles me when they said that they were gonna kill themselves if this music shit didn't work out. You know, that's quite a statement, but I mean, in the end, they didn't kill themselves. They worked out. You know, they got their own fan base. They may still be underground. You know, they might be underground for a long time coming, because this music ain't never, especially in the sensitive pity-patty era that we live in, shit like this music right here will never get to the surface. It will never get radio play. Track 2, Bring Out Your Dead.
Back on my bullshit, white bands, 2 fit, 3 in the bag, and I'm not including your bitch, 2 shit, mud, hit the blood like a bump. Egg in the cup with the cut, no, we never gave a fuck. If I come, suck it up, bitch, you fuck. This fuck, in the pussy ball, wanna anger. Face up there with no guts. Boss in my head, say yeah, keys up. 760 bang, waiting at home. Feel like a zombie, I'm all alone. Everyone close. Please tell your business, stop hitting my phone.
A short track, but I'm kind of, that was a different feel from Scrimm, right? I thought, you know, whenever I hear Scrimm, you know, he gets a little repetitive. Same thing with Ruby. Ruby J. I was about to call him Ruby J again. Same thing with Ruby, man. I don't know. I'm not saying they're repetitive. It's a bad thing. Like, I love their sound. You know, don't get me wrong. I can listen to that shit all day. But you know, when you hear Ruby, everybody has the same thought about Ruby. When they listen to Ruby, and everybody has the same thought about Scrimm. Like I said, I'm just used to him being that dark pastor. That's really what it is. He's a dark pastor. Track 3, Nicotine Patches. That's gonna be a no for me, Chief. That's definitely a no for me. That's a no. Track 4, 10,000 Degrees. Hey. Okay, this one is right here. You know what's really wild, man? Y'all can say about this right here, like Suicideboys actually has an influence on some of these newer SoundCloud artists. I'm not saying like you're not even SoundCloud artists. Like, listen to Rich Chigga, right? When I first listened to Rich Chigga, I thought that he always reminded me a little bit of Suicideboys. He kind of does give you this imitation of Scrimm. I'm just saying. You can hear it. You can hear, like I said, Rich Chigga has definitely evolved in his music, creating his own sound. But you can hear the Scrimm influence in him. I also like the fact that Suicideboys, they have a heavy influence from Bone Thugs and Harmony. He reminds me a little bit of Lazy Bone mixed with some Busy. The way they feed off of each other's energy is good because you get so hyped with Ruby. And then Scrimm just brings you into this dark place, like, come step into a place of the dark side. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, damn, nigga, like, shit, Lucifer, nigga, just chill, bitch. Just chill. The next track is 122 Days.
Before I do. Holding my Freud. I'm not who I thought I was anymore. Got in front of money, I'm a G.O.D. Hold up.
Doesn't Scrimm sound like 22 Savage? 21 Savage right there?
Fucking day, right?
Or the other way around, my bad.
Off the porch, sipping dip, little sleep, wanna quit life, wasn't like you action, my cousin.
Hey. I like how they out the outro. That's the only part of the song I really liked. I don't know, man. The slower songs from Suicideboys from time to time, it's either hit or miss. It's either I'm fucking with it or I'm not. I just feel like they haven't perfected really that sound yet. They like their hype shit is their go-to when everybody thinks about Suicideboys, but when it comes to slower music, I think they just need to find that right sound, that right hit where they can keep building up on. And that thunder is hitting right now. Oh my god. Track 6, Phantom Menace.
Back against the wall, flip my back against the wall, still hanging in the hall, never change. I'm just sick of the doctor with like slipping the phone, cause the bad things sounds with the devil is the villain when he runs in the couch. Ask for no amount till it's time to really count. Shorty, aka I'm loaded. Made a couple million, but I'm doing fucking up. Seem like the nigga you get equals nothing but death. But nonetheless, still nothing dead. President's innocent resident, straight bullet death.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there, man. Like, it's really hit or miss with me with Scrimm though, man. I mean, like I said, lately I've been fucking with Scrimm, but there be some times where I really be sitting there like, all right, my nigga, you might be a little too dark for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you crazy. Hey, you sound like one of them niggas, like you at the party and the nigga just like sitting there just kind of just staring at everybody like, yeah, nigga, I'm about to fuck you up, bitch. Like, whoa. Sometimes we need a little light in your life, you know what I'm saying? Turn on the lights, you know what I'm saying? We got track 7, Crew de Vous. Did I say it right? Crew de Vous. 3 tracks have been short too as well. They've been a little short.
Ruby really rap about stacking up cash when they come my wall. Mrs. That enough slacks from the person to profession that happens so fast. It's a rap last night, now I'm back on no wax. Always gotta get fucked, I can't look to my skull. Hey, fuck it to the CBS with VVS's tripping on my name below it, mine. Right now for the sake of suicide. You see anybody riding with me in a Chevy? I think so. Stay so low, stay so low.
I don't know, man. I just can't get into. I can't get into Scrimm right now. I don't know what it is. Like it's something that's really like it's not hitting me. That track wasn't that bad, man. Ruby did his thing with the intro, you know, coming in strong, and I feel like they need to switch it up too. Let Scrimm start first. I think if Scrimm starts first too, that would like maybe help the buildup of the track, because I feel like it's going out and Scrimm's really not doing anything to add flavor to the track. Track 8, War All the Time. Again, the only highlight of that track was Ruby. I felt like the sounds were all over the place. I don't know who was producing that track, but you know, it sounded like he just had a lot of sounds. You know, they were going in different directions. Nothing really meshed together well. How come every time I do a song, like the thunder comes, bro? I'm not making this shit up, bro. That's crazy. But I don't know, man. That song was just all over the place for me. It really didn't come together for me. So just another I mean, so far we in the album. We got like 6 more tracks left, and the album is really not. It's pretty forgettable. I'm just being real with y'all. Y'all know I don't lie about this shit. Track 9, Comma.
I'm disgusted, I'm busted up. What the fuck did I just put up my nose? I'm bugging out these buckles, I'm dugging out. I'm in trouble now. I can see the clouds like
Hear that background? Okay, that's sample, boy.
Pistol grip up in my left. Xanax era, bunch of mess. Fantasizing about death. Just need one in my eyes. Screaming, hear the other shit.
A Pontchartrain broke through a levee.
Curious to see or to hear their testimonies from Hurricane Katrina and everything that happened, because they're from New Orleans, so if they've been there all their lives, and they had to have experienced that, you know, with the whole flooding and whatnot. I myself, being from Miami, I've had my personal share of hurricanes. The only bad one I really had was Katrina was only just a flood storm. We all played in the water, but I think Hurricane Andrew was the worst one I've experienced. You know, it basically destroyed Homestead, where I'm kind of from, my family, my grandma's from and whatnot. So it destroyed that area. Everything we ever had, all that, it was just gone. So I just want to hear that. But other than that, I like the I like that sample that they use right there. It's just the endings of the track that's just getting to me. That's the only thing I can say about this. Track 10, Long Gone. Save me from this.
Bagged on the fucking dope, smack 'em, back 'em like a toast. Raise a glass to a room full of all my dear friends. Go stay loud and shout and pound and fist in peace. Save me from this hell, let me rest in peace.
I like when they do that shit, when Ruby get into the singing.
Broken down to my legs over my own blood. Woke up on the worst side of the bed and they wanna get out. Ouch, I can only speak about the shit.
I think the only thing that I'm really questioning right now is their lack of creativeness, if you want to call it that. Like, they have the same format in every song. It's like Ruby go first, Scrimm finish it. Ruby go first, Scrimm finish it. They're not really doing anything different for me where I'm just like, oh wow, it's eye-popping, or just like, damn, this shit sound good as shit. Like, it's all just getting a little bland for me. I did like that. I did like Ruby's vocals. I like when Ruby puts his vocals in tracks. But I mean, it's just the same format, and it's really, I don't know, man. It's just bland. Track 11, Meet Mr. Nice Guy.
I don't mind, but you're always on my mind. Think about you all the time. Think about you all the time. Where the fuck was I with this relationship gone?
Yeah.
I'm finally get out of
Woo!
it. Finally get out of night. I love it if you. Yeah, I do drugs. Yeah, I wanna bag all desserts. 5 in the morning. Ain't trying. Put my heart on the concrete every fucking time. Suicide. They know I'm on my mind.
Alright, man. Hey, that track right there, that's the slow track that I want from them. I think they did really well right there. Everything was meshed well together. I understand why this track has a star on it, because this is the track that everybody liked, including myself. This is what I'm saying. I didn't want the whole album to be like this, but you know, it sounds like this wasn't rushed. They took their time with this single. You know, they actually wanted to put some energy, because I feel like they're giving energy, but they're not putting the energy, if that makes sense. It feels like they're not giving me 100. You know, like they just out here, they're just giving us 70. They giving them some shit we already heard from the Suicideboys. Let me know if y'all agree with that. Track 12, Carrollton.
Play me some of that suicide pimping, man.
I told y'all niggas! Juicy J ass nigga, Ruby J, boy!
Now you a motherfucker, stay in a little cut though. Ethic dog, bag, nuts, hang, drug game, ain't the same. Savage tatted on my face, great, ain't. Blazing while we hot box, fuck a bash, fuck a body. Cigarette, wet, bumpin' boozy, badass. On them drugs, chicken jaws, I clench. Trigger finger itching. Lobby might be cocky and my enterprise ain't highly unlikely, and I'm willing to fucking bet. Leave a pussy wet, then I leave a pussy wet. I'm a fucking vet, I'm a motherfucking threat.
I may be wrong, but did I hear Juicy? I didn't hear Juicy J in there. I just heard Keep It Pimpin', the Keep It Pimpin' ad lib from him. I told y'all, man, Ruby reminds me of Juicy J, and this proves it right here that he knows. That's probably one of his biggest influencers. I knew I heard it in him. Y'all talking about I was crazy for saying that shit. He sounds like Juicy J at times, and that's not a bad thing. Obviously, I know Juicy J been in this bitch for 3 decades. He's old enough to be y'all dad. He still is relevant in the rap game. He's still doing his thing, and he hasn't aged a bit. I like when, I don't know, man. I can be hypocritical at times. Like, there's times where I tell them to change. There's times where I tell them to stay the same. But I don't know, man. It's just like you can keep your same sound, but you got to be different. You got to kind of like switch it up. You know, do different things. Still revolving around, you know, the way y'all rap and how y'all dark and shit. Like, that's cool. Y'all can still do that. But you just have to, you know, revolve the sound around that. I don't know how to really explain that. It's kind of just like, you know, you can have the same personality, but you know, when you got to have a work face, and then you know you got to have a real life face. You got to have, you know, a girl face when you're talking to girls or significant others, whoever you're talking to. You just got to have a different game face, but you can still be the same person. Track 13, Fuck the Industry. Had so much emphasis in that. Fuck.
Like them Jesus. Skip to the next track if you think that we overseas.
Alright, I got you. Last track. I no longer fear the razor guarding my heel. 4. They told me to skip it, bro. I'm just listening to what they said. 7 minutes, holy shit.
And I grab a cup of crumbled tonnage. We look like some crumbled tonnage. Blended out the stars and something. And this ain't a piece of suicide. Fuck the seagull, fuck the spot. Easily execution on my side. Homicide, what we used to all. Suicide, my end. Son, you can feel the bullets from my steel, son. Steel, son. You can feel the bullets from my steel, son. 39 time ready, yeah. Definitely right in front of ya. Still wouldn't recognize her.
Hey, that nigga Scrimm sound hard on this shit.
Still gotta catch this bus on the take quick time.
sorry, it's Ruby Scrimm all day. I'm sorry.
Cut that shit off, man. The boys suck, man. Garbage, man. Sound like a fucking generic 3-6, man.
He said, y'all boys sound like a generic 3-6. I knew I wasn't the only one feeling that way. Not saying that they're generic 3-6, but the fact that Ruby has a lot of influence from Juicy J. Scrimm is kind of doing his own dark thing. You know, like I said, he reminds me of a dark pastor. You know, that guy says, step into the love of a dark side. You know, like, she was like, yo, just chill, nigga, not trying to die today. But that track right there, man, there was a lot of transitions going through on it. It was 7 minutes long, so they had to make it interesting. I didn't expect them to just kind of like, you know, scream be in your face for 7 minutes long. I knew they were gonna have some transitions in there. This is my thing. The album kind of finished stronger. I did like the last 4 tracks a lot rather than the first. The intro was cool, but as the album went on, man, it really got kind of bland. They had the same format where each had their own verse. The chorus weren't catchy at all to me. I just feel like this is one of the forgettable projects from Suicideboys. I don't think that, you know, a lot of people will put this in their top 5 Suicideboys albums. I haven't still listened to all the albums, but I'm kind of close, man. I've been from time to time, I'll catch myself, you know, poking at their albums and whatnot. But this right here, man, I feel like it was kind of rushed. Even though they did take their time with it, it just didn't have anything for me that really stood out. I do like the ad-libs they have in there. You know, when they had Juicy J, I like that. That was kind of cool. They remind me of Bone Thugs. That still sticks. You can hear the Busy Bone, the Lazy Bone influence, even Crazy Bone. You can hear the influence from them. That's not a bad artist to follow. Like, Bone Thugs were the shit back in the day. A lot of people, you know, fast rapping wasn't really hyped on. So when, you know, Bone Thugs came out, they started you know, fast rapping. Everybody was like, wow, that's the cool shit. So when you hear a lot of fast rappers, just know that it's from, you know, artists like that from back in the day in the 90s. I just think that you know, with Suicideboys, even when they go into their slower side of music, they need to find their sound. They need to find what is going to, you know, what beat is going to mesh well with their voices, the way they rap. Because like I said, you get some tracks where you know, it has Ruby moments, and, you know, it always, you know, it looks like Ruby just took the shine. And then you get Scrimm, who's, you know, more dark than Ruby. I feel like Ruby's the fast rapping, you know, he's kind of dark in his own way, but he's the fast rapper, you know. So I got bars where Scrimm is like, you know, like, I'm gonna talk to you, coming to step into my world. I feel like, you know, Scrimm is more vulnerable. So when you get on some of these hype tracks, it's like, okay, that's why it seems like Scrimm is doing bad. At least that's the way I'm looking at it. But again, though, the album was whatever to me. I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. I'm not gonna say it was bad. I know a lot of y'all really liked it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't too bad. To me though, it was just whatever. I'm just gonna keep it like that, man. Get in the comment box below. Let me know what y'all think about the album. Let me know what's y'all favorite Suicideboys song in the comments below. Let me know some other albums I should listen to. I'll tell y'all if I haven't listened to it yet, but I will look at some of the references y'all giving me, and we're just gonna keep it like that, man. Till the next time, this has been your boy Dev. Like always, thanks for subscribing, thanks for supporting. I'm in that gym. Y'all see that? I'm in the gym. We working out here, and we're gonna keep it like that. Till the next time, this has been your boy Dev. We out.